Well, Ian, first of all, I'd like to ask you about the fans forum this week. So I remember talking to you when you first arrived. And obviously, you couldn't build up much of a relationship with supporters. I remember you saying one of the important things that you wanted to do was to actually be able to meet fans in person, have a drink, have a little bit of a chat, and you've been able to do that now. So how was it?
It was great. Typical timing. The first loss of the season was 2 days before, but nonetheless, it was it was great. You know, just to see a lot of the fans, the season ticket holders, and the people that are behind everybody. So yeah, just good to be around that, answer some questions, and just kind of socialise a little bit with the supporters. Like you say, when I first came in, there was no supporters in, so it was always hard with that. And I've always I like to do things like that and just connect with the fans, and yeah, it was good fun.
Is there something specific about getting to be there, answer their questions directly that you regard as important?
I think it's just to be available, really, and to be to connect the fans with the club. I think that it's not only me, you know, it's a lot of Steve and Nick with the social media. We are trying to do that, you know, with the bits that we do in the training, the little mic'd up sessions, and just try to connect the fans with, have a feeling that we're all part of the same thing. So I just enjoy that, and obviously, you know, with Doyler and Cam there to also answer the questions. I think it was good for us to be there and just create that connection together with supporters.
It's interesting you say that, actually. I've noticed a few Facebook profile pictures, Twitter avatars having changed to selfies with you guys from the other night. And I think, you know, fans of Manchester United don't get that, do they? You don't get a selfie with Ronaldo. You don't get a selfie with the top players in the world. Is that something you can capitalise on at this level of football to make you accessible in that way?
100%. Like you say, I think the very top kind of echelons of the Premier League and that feels a bit detached from, even though they do a lot of the documentaries now, the All or Nothings and stuff like that, still for that kind of contact with fans. I think in general football has evolved so much at the higher end that there's feels kind of more detached. So where we are in our league, one of the strengths that we should have is we should be a together club where we've got a connection with supporters, that they feel connected to the club, and that's part of meeting the fans on a regular basis. You know, on a match day, I'm going up into the lounges now to talk and you know, be around the supporters, the sponsors and things like that, to give something back, because I think it's hugely important, especially for a club where we're at and at the stage that we're at.
And on a personal note, how do you feel your relationship with the fans has come on from being in an empty stadium and never seeing them and not being able to respond, and for them not being able to respond to what you're doing in person compared to now?
Great. I mean, I just think they get to know who we are a little bit more, not just in a, you know, when they only see a pre-match or a post-match interview. You know, post-match interviews are never that easy because you've just finished the game. It's week to week, quite similar questions, and they don't feel who you are that much sometimes. So I think these are all great windows to kind of just connect and show who you are, and I think that's I think the relationship with the fans, they're getting to know me and the rest of the team, and I think it's good.
As for the football then, you've obviously got a few out injured last week. Has that eased this week at all, or are they going to be out for longer?
Some will be out for longer, some have been back training this week, so we are getting there. We had 3 central defenders training today. I'm not sure that all will be available for the weekend, but I'm hoping at least 1 returns, possibly 2 for Saturday's game. But yeah, it's eased a little bit, but we're still a way to go.
Who is that then? Who's back? Who's possibly back?
Lacey trained full all week. Connell was pitch based today, and Carl Cameron was out on the pitch but still with the physios today. So Connell and Lacey have taken some steps, and Carl Cameron's not far behind them as well. So we'll see how that settles down tomorrow, and then Friday, and perhaps one of those 3 will be available for the weekend.
What about Cal Roberts? He's had an extraordinary start to this season. You know, scored several goals, had a hand in others, and then has managed to find himself booked 5 times as well. Is there something he's going to have to learn from this? Because to get 5 yellow cards before the end of September takes some doing, actually. Yeah,
he's got to learn not to get booked. I mean, some bookings are unavoidable, some are avoidable, so it's just to be sensible and avoid the ones where frustration boils over, and keep focus, and that's what what he has to be better at. I think he knows that. So yeah, we don't want too many unnecessary bookings. I think that's important, not to have players out suspended. But yeah, hopefully that's it now, and he learns from that.
I wonder if it's linked to the fact that he has been out for so long, and there's sort of an overexcitement, sort of too much desire almost to get out and be impressed and be a big player in the game. Is it all a bit? Is that linked or not?
No, do you know what? I think you gain that, like, when we've played well, even in parts of games, you see how good we can be. The players want it to be like that all the time, and then they get frustrated if it's not. And I think it's just to refocus. That's not only Cal. That's everybody has to stay focused. Other teams will have parts of games where they get on top, and we just have to manage that and then try to bring our football back out onto the table. So I think it's won't only be Cal that gets frustrated through moments in games, but it's just dealing with that in the best way and then retaking the momentum of the game.
What about Woking then? Because I think raised a few eyebrows earlier in the season when they went to Torquay and won 4-0, but then they've also beaten Chesterfield recently. They can clearly mix it up with some of the bigger clubs in the division. What do you expect from them? Yeah,
like you say, they did 4-0 against Torquay away, and then Chesterfield away on Tuesday night. They put 3 past them. I've watched them in the game against Eastleigh, a game against Wrexham. They were very competitive away at Wrexham as well. They're very, very direct. Very direct. They've got Tavon Campbell up front, who's having a great season, who's mobile, who's dangerous, and they work unbelievably hard. Every time they win the ball, they're full on into attacks, and they press and they hunt. So it's a team that I think is maybe got a good feeling within the group, and that certainly they will have after the midweek game against Chesterfield. I think they play forwards extremely quickly. We're going to have to cope with a lot of long balls and a lot of second balls and a lot of intensity from them, and then hopefully we can take control of the game from there. But they're showing that they're a well-drilled team that's going to be a tough task.